Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Trade Talks Live. I'm Roger Wakefield. If you've been here before, thanks for coming back. If you haven't been here before, we're moving things around today. If you hadn't been here before, if this is your first time, welcome to the show. Glad that you're here. Look, we talk about all things trades. Now, we try to teach people that if you want to grow in your industry, if you want to grow to be the very best in your industry, you need to get up every morning or every day at lunch and study the trades for 30 minutes to an hour. Study your niche. If you'll do that, you can be in the top 5% of your industry. So what we've done, we've put together different topics where we talk about it, we do it, we do different things, but we have fun doing it. And this way here at lunch every day, 11 o'clock Eastern time, you can come in, join the live stream. Any other time zone, jump in on your lunch, go back, listen to it, learn, move up in your industry. And a special shout out, Mac McDonough, already in the house. Good to see you, brother. And as you see, I'm not alone. I got Squirt in here with me, but we're really not alone today.
Good morning, everybody. As you can see on the screen, it says Roger Squirt and more. What do we got going on today?
Where did that come from?
It is Thirsty Thursday. Happy to see everybody here. Thank you for attending again. Tune in every day. Learn some things. Henry Wakefield here, a.k.a. Squirt, 20-year pipe fitter by trade. Now I run Leak Pro, and we'd like to thank Leak Pro for sponsoring today's episode of the Trade Talks. They let us come in here and talk trades for an hour, but they manufacture the most precise leak detection system for professional plumbers. And guys, to learn about the equipment, check out the complete kit that comes with both devices. That's going to cover you for indoor and outdoor leaks, underground or under slabs. Check out the website at www.leak-pro.com. Also, I do a 2-day in-person training class here just outside of Dallas, Texas, where you can come spend a couple days with me and learn every aspect of leak detection and how to add it and market it at your company. So give me a call and we can discuss that at 1-8888-LEAK-PRO.
Okay, so we're going to do things a little bit different today. We got friends in the house, so we're going to do something different. Me and Squirt are going to start off right here talking about the national news because number one, it's a big deal. News, if you're not paying attention to what's going on in the world today, you're crazy, especially with tariffs and everything going on. Prices change, work changes, everything changes. But the reason that we do this is, look, the world needs to know. The world needs to see. And if you want to learn to do what we're doing, look, I can teach you a little bit about YouTube. I started a webinar. It's a free webinar. Go check it out at just metroger.com and you can learn some things about why to or not to do YouTube. But talking about national news now, Staten Island's largest mass timber development has been announced, and New York City greenlights a $400 million mass timber residential development on the North Shore project, and it'll span 2,400 homes, schools, and public space, and create over 7,500 jobs. Now, this targets long-term carbon footprint reduction using cross-laminated timber. Now, we talk about that a lot. This engineered timber, guys, it's good stuff. But the structural teams, HVAC, plumbing, and fire suppression are all in demand. This is interesting because, and look, this is New York City, and we know how old New York City is.
That's it.
It's got to be
Very
rebuilt.
old,
It's got to be rebuilt.
That's it. And all timber. Like, this is an interesting aspect. I love to see this going back to it because
We don't build much with timber anymore.
I worked commercial and it's like wood disappeared off the job and metal studs everywhere. Now, I'm a pipe fitter, so I love metal, but you know how much easier it is to cut a wood stud than it is a metal stud for precision?
If you're a pipe fitter.
That's it. Like, well, if you're
And
a
you
pipe
cut
fitter, I
metal all
just
the
grab
time.
a torch and cut it. That's fine.
I was fixing to say.
But, I think this is a very interesting chore that they're taking on to go back to timber and go everything as far as they can, because they're building timber high rises around the world now and things, and there's some really cool stuff that they're coming up with and doing, and they can make lumber or alternative lumber just as strong as some steel. So it's
That's
pretty
what they're
freaking
saying.
neat.
We ain't got it yet.
That's it.
We need some. We need to find some. We need to order some.
That's it. And guys, it's not just green, it's real work. Mass timber means different MEP prep. Are your crews ready for that or not? Because it is going to be different, just like we were saying.
Sorry, I'm clicking buttons. Here's the thing, though. At the end of the day, are you ready for this? Are your crews ready
That's
for
it.
this? Is
Like-
your team ready for this? You can go to architectural sheet metal. They do the metal roofs. You can go to construction cronies. They do the metal framing. And look, Chris is good. They do it all the time. But guys, this is still real work. Completely different MEP preparation.
That's it. You got to have different tools. You got to teach different things. We're moving back to hole saws again, I suppose. So hole saw
punches.
training is going to be important. No.
Punches.
We're going timber.
Oh, timber. Okay.
We're not going to metal. We're going timber. We're going back to timber.
and you got to be careful because those hole saws and the whole hogs will break your arm.
Oh, yes. I learned on a right angle drill with a 2-inch wing bit standing on walls. And when you hit a nail, it grabs a hold.
All right. So, and is Michael out there? Tell Michael to come on here for a minute. Just, and I know you weren't ready for this, so it kind of is what it is. All right, so I'm gonna bring in a friend, Michael Carrillo. Here's your mic, so you can get right there. And talking about national news, you've got students that have been competing in the national level. You got the hat on, Skills USA. How are your students do there?
We've done well. As a matter of fact, Belton has a strong history of actually providing the next workforce associated with Skills USA. So Skills USA has been played a big part in our program, not only getting ready for competition, but getting ready for the real world. In the last 10 years, I say we've got a handful of state champions in Teamworks, carpentry, plumbing, even sheet metal. And we also have qualified for nationals in Atlanta, Georgia for the last 5 years. And last year we won national champions in the Teamworks. So thank you for having me, guys.
So what group won?
Teamworks.
Okay, and explain Teamworks and what they do, because I've been there and I've seen it, and I'm like, man, this is just cool.
So Teamworks is a category that consists 4 trades. You have to have a carpenter, you have to have an electrician, a plumber, and a mason.
Now,
So-
I'm assuming the plumber's in charge.
Yeah. As a matter of fact, they all have to be cross-trained, as a matter of fact. So just to kind of give you an oversight of what the contest is, so it's a 2-day event. They pretty much get to build a tiny home within 2 days. So they don't get to see the plans until the day of. So on top of their build and their skill set, they also have to present themselves. So kind of like we were discussing earlier, how to market themselves. So they're pretty much saying to the judges like, hey, how can we earn how can we earn this job so we can win the bid kind of per
That's
se.
pretty
That's
cool.
what that is. And then also like the plumber and electrical, they get pulled for their own skills check. So it's a very neat, very challenging contest. Like if you win in that category, that says something about your program.
You know, and look, I've been to it. I've been lucky enough to be invited down the last couple of years to get to see the competition, see how it works, see what all they're doing is really fun. Skills USA, I keep talking to y'all about speaking at your event. You need somebody like me that the students understand. But I'm telling you, y'all, what you've done at Belton, I've got to go down to Belton. I've got to see the school. We're working on something right now with a dollhouse. You'll hear more about it later, but some really cool stuff. So, brother, I just want to say thank you very much. I love what you're doing down there, and keep training up our kids.
Thank you, and I'd like to say thank you to you, Roger. Like you should be on every billboard, especially with you bringing awareness to the trades and how much we are in need of that. So I want to thank you, Roger.
All right, brother.
Yep.
Thank you so much.
Yep.
All right, so let's roll into the bottom line here, because, and this is something all these students need to hear, labor shortages are impacting project costs.
Yes, big time.
But we've been talking about this for a long time.
We have, but guess what? It's here, guys. Average hourly pay in construction jumped 6.1% so far this year compared to the start of last year.
Okay, guys, a 6% raise is not a bad raise.
Nope.
Normally, they try to give you a 2 to 3%. 6% is kind of sweet.
That's right.
And
Double,
that's just jumped
even
this year
triple.
already.
That's it. Just in the last year. But guys, the the shortage can lead to a lot of delays, and delays equal penalty clauses.
Liquidated
that
damages, they'll cost you.
Equals lost margin on that job, guys. So you've got to make sure that you are ready for the labor shortage that's coming, that's here already. The best way, keep your employees happy so they want to show up and work for you every day.
And that's the smartest thing you can do. And I talked to y'all the other day. I had Billy Stevens come in the other day and interviewing him for the podcast. And it's all about culture. What is your company culture? Because you've got to be ready for it. And smart contractors are adjusting contract languages to reflect variable schedules, doubling down on retention and training instead of just chasing new hires. Guys, new hires cost you a lot of money. I remember talking to a plumber from Chicago, one of my mentors. He says, when he hires a new plumber, it costs him $100,000. Now, half of that is for the van, half of it's for the vehicle. The other half is training this new plumber on the systems and processes and everything there. So you got to look at that, because budgeting 10% higher labor for the year ahead might be the most honest estimate you give all year. And guys, if we've already come up 6% this year, we're
Not far off from 10%.
We're a full 4 months through the year.
Yep.
That means it could be 18 to 20% by the time the end of the year comes.
That's it.
So be careful. All right, I'm gonna call Mr. Bryson in here. We're gonna talk about safety. Do y'all study safety at Belton?
We try to stay as safe as we can in the shop. There's no horseplay. Most of the time when we're working, we wear hard hats and stuff like that.
That's pretty cool, because we came here. Y'all brought your hard hats here, didn't you?
No, sir. I think we forgot them.
Oh, did you? Okay, good. Because I was asked, do we need hard hats? Which we've actually got some.
We do.
How many we got?
We
got a bunch?
I don't know.
I think we got a bunch.
We'll see.
But safety and training is last week was National Safety Week, so we're constantly looking at how do we keep people safe. What's your biggest thought about safety in the school?
I know the school does a good job of making sure all the doors are locked. I think our safety officer, he goes around and checks all the doors throughout the day.
Okay.
And I think some of the teachers get in trouble when they leave the doors open.
Of course they
or
do.
Locked, but I think Belton does a good job of keeping our school as safe as possible.
Now, what about tools? You're in a shop class. You're learning the trades. What about safety with tools?
Just try to just be as safe as you can, basically. Just don't mess around with it. And
Safety glasses and hard hats and all that fun stuff.
Sir. And and at Skills USA, we have to wear gloves, glasses, hard hat, obviously, all that. But yeah, in the shop, if I'm working with something new, I'll make sure I'll ask Mr. Carrillo what I'm doing first, so I don't mess it up or something or end up hurting myself.
I like that. So, have you been to Skills USA in Atlanta?
No, sir.
Not yet. You going this year?
Yes, sir. This will be my first year.
Good deal. And what is your trade? What is
I'm
your
a mason.
Mason?
Yes, sir.
Man, I need a lot of mason work out here. So maybe while you're here today, you can just fix a bunch of walls and stuff for me.
I can try.
And you got a mason guy that's right here in town. Who's the mason guy from Skills USA? There's one that lives right here.
Mr. Bud Johnson.
Mr. Bud Johnson.
The Mason guy.
Yeah. And he
also,
lives in this area.
Yeah, and also the Texas Masonry Council for those who want to start a masonry program.
Cool. Okay. Well, man, good luck this year.
Thank you.
Are you on the team deal or are you just on the masonry
Yes, sir.
deal?
Teamworks.
You're on Teamworks.
Yes,
Good.
sir.
So what else do you know how to do?
A little bit of framing. Everybody chips in on framing, and a little bit of electrical work. I worked with my uncle over the summer doing electrical, just
Good deal.
roofing in and stuff.
Good
So,
deal.
A little bit of everything. Not too much of plumbing now.
Well, y'all got to come out today. Hopefully, we're going to get to teach y'all a little bit about slab leaks, leak detection, stuff like that.
Yes, sir.
But man, I appreciate y'all coming down.
Sir, thank you.
Or coming up. Thank you. All right. So in safety, 3D multi-view engagement for safety violation recognition. New AI-driven systems now scan job sites from multiple cameras and angles.
Yeah. The cool thing,
Imagine you've got AI telling you, hey, you've got a safety issue here.
imagine this buzzer goes off. Hey, you're getting too close to the edge. You're not tied off. There's a fall risk. Falls are the biggest safety issue across the country, across the world.
Slip,
I'm sure.
trips, and falls.
Slips, trips, and falls. Imagine this buzzer going off. Hey, Too close because you're backing up. You're not noticing. You're paying attention to your work, not the 360-degree awareness around you at the time.
And another one we talked about with Bryson, missing PPE.
That's it.
You know, when he goes to compete, hard hat, gloves, safety glasses, vests, work boots, all kinds
like
of
there's
stuff.
times that we go to break and I leave my safety glasses sitting there on the lunch table because I took all my trash off and then start to walk off and somebody
you're in trouble.
You get noticed real quick though, and everybody's like, "Hey, did you leave your safety glasses somewhere?" And it's like, oh, you know what? I sure did. I grabbed all my trash and I took off and didn't even grab them. Yep.
And I used to have a lanyard. I had 3 pair. I had dark, smoked, and clear because I may be on the roof, I may be inside a building, or I may be inside of a closed area where there's almost no light at all. And I want to make sure I had everything. So missing PPE is another big one. Unsafe lift techniques. AI can see this stuff now.
Yep. That's it.
Now, this improves safety inspections and insurance audits in real time. Not a bad deal.
That's it. And guys, this isn't just for big jobs. Okay. These are rolling out at $3 million plus projects. If you're a sub, expect to be watched.
Okay. And look, I had a small company, so a $3 million project would have been a big job.
Yeah.
But I mean, I've worked at companies that had massive construction and small service, and service always felt like they were left out of safety. It's like, look, it doesn't matter what we do. It doesn't matter what we say. When we call them, whenever we talk to them, we don't get the love and respect and care and stuff. So anyway, it's just something that we got to look at. So let's roll over to new construction because the Shadow Drive sanitary sewer main replacement project, and this is right down the road.
Right down the road, man. I thought this was pretty cool. And it was like, I ain't heard one of these in a while. Let's shed some light. And guys, over here in Arlington, Texas, they're replacing a 2,200-foot main along Shadow Drive. Now they're putting a new 12-inch sanitary sewer line to handle expanding residential capacity. This is going to include access manholes, rerouting, bypass lines, trench. Safety enforcement is going to be huge on this project.
And guys, you've got to go through special training for trench safety. And normally you do it at the rental companies because that's where you rent your trench boxes from. But I'm telling you, it's a neat training program. It really is. It's fun to go through. You understand the different soil types and things like that. When I travel around the country and speak, it always comes up about, tunneling up under houses to fix leaks. And I'm like, oh my God, how do y'all do that? That's crazy. And it's like, it's really not that big a deal. Our walls are like black clay. It's not going to slough off on you unless you've let them fill up with water a few times.
That's it. Yeah. And knowing soil types is huge. Guys, look up a video on the thumb test real quick. Just do
How
yourself
far
that
can you
favor.
stick your thumb in it?
Can you does the ball fall apart? Is it sandy? Can you even make it a ball or not with a little bit of water? Check it out. It's good.
And I like that because they're doing a public meeting on May the 15th. And then construction starts June, which is now.
Yep.
Or next month.
Just about.
But it's 2 weeks away.
We're there.
It's coming up quick.
And yeah, bids are open, to licensed sewer and utility contractors, guys. The estimated value on this, $2.5 million.
$2.5 million for just under half a mile of pipe.
That's it. I like 12-inch.
12 inches is easy.
I was gonna say some of the
I mean,
funnest
it's a lot of
PVC I
fun.
did was at the water park, and it was
yeah.
because it was large PVC pipe. When you're using come-alongs to glue together PVC, it's a pretty cool job.
I tell you what, yeah, people laughed at me when I first came up with that idea. We're going to use riser clamps and come-alongs to pull our joints together. And I'm like, wait, what? Why don't we just push it? Yeah, you ever tried pushing a 12-inch joint and hoping it doesn't hydraulic?
That's it. Yeah.
It's not much fun.
I built the mechanical rooms. Everything has to be precise to be lined up perfect. So you've got to make sure that it makes up 100%, no more, no less.
And here's the deal, guys. Small job, big scope. Okay. This is a perfect example of why smart subcontractors win. If you're involved in utilities, start looking at this now. Or now's probably too late because this is starting in a couple of weeks.
Yeah.
But guys, you should be looking at all the municipalities and seeing what they're doing. Why are they doing it? And how's it going?
Yep.
Joseph, you want to come on in here? So we're going to roll over into mindset growth. And we're going to talk about building a growth mindset in 2025. But let's talk about you. Have you been to Skills USA before?
Yeah, this is my second year competing in Teamworks.
Okay, so you're one of the national champions from last year.
Unfortunately, not. We lost to them in district, so we didn't get past
that's
there.
right. Y'all had 2 teams there last year.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so you're going to win this year.
We are going to win this year.
I love it.
Yeah.
See, I love that attitude. Mindset growth is big because you've got, especially at y'all's age, because to walk in and say, look, I'm going to compete on a national level. I've got a friend that's running track up in Oregon, and he's going to a state meet. He's in 8th grade, never ran track before, started this year, and he's already going to state. And it's like to get to see that national level competition, stuff like that is just so good. So, what do y'all do to think about the mindset end of it? Because it's not just get in there and be a grunt and just put pipe together and stuff like that.
Yeah, we work a lot, so as we keep getting better and better, our mindset just keeps growing because not every team out there is going to be practicing as much as we are.
I love that. I love that. So, what are you going to school for?
I'm planning on going to TSCC for plumbing.
Go see
completing,
Mr. Jimmy Bibb. Jimmy Bibb's one of the
Yes.
directors there.
I'm planning on getting my journeyman while I'm there,
Good.
doing the journeyman's.
So you're going to be a plumber then,
Yes, sir.
smarter than the electricians. I'm just making a comment. Okay.
Yeah, you got to learn that one. If you're going to be a plumber, you are going to have to learn that.
You got to learn how to talk bad about
Talk bad
electricians.
about electricians. It's
we,
okay.
we love them, but we still
That's
talk
right.
about. There's
Don't
a
tell
bone
nobody.
missing in an electrician's hand. That's why they can't use a broom.
Yep.
That's why they can't clean up.
Yeah.
There's just something wrong with them. Do you enjoy going to school?
Yeah. With our classes, we're in construction for about 4 hours out of the day.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Most of my day is just spent in my construction class, which is, the best class in school. So,
Do you have a good teacher?
yeah, my teacher's great.
Just checking. Okay, so I'm going to jump into some comments right here just for a second before we roll on any further. Appreciate the Matt first says, I agree. Roger has been the best spokesman for the trades. Keep up the great work. Thank you. Kuda Bande, appreciate the knowledge passover. I love sharing it. We do have some hard hats. And Matt says, put him to work. Yeah, Matt will put all y'all to work. Yeah. Good luck with your future. Says that would be great. AI is so advanced now with the VR systems. It's crazy. Find it fascinating and picking on the Sparkies. We always do. All right. So in the mindset, building a growth mindset in 2025, key mindset shifts for the trades this year.
Yeah.
And we talk about this a lot. Adaptability to technology.
That's it. Embrace it, guys. It's coming. It's going to take over. Start shifting to it now. Own your mistakes. Okay. That's one of the biggest ones that I tried to share on everybody. If I make a mistake, it's like, look, I screwed this up, but here's how I screwed it up so that y'all don't get tricked too. So own it. Try to teach others from your mistakes. That's how we don't repeat them.
And I love this next one, willingness to be trained, because you've got to be willing to learn, but you've also got to be willing to teach. So you've got to be willing to teach people things that you don't know or they don't know. And the best way to do it is learn it, repeat it, get good at it, and then get to where you can teach it. And things like that are amazing because that leads to a growth mindset, and that is confidence without arrogance. Just learning, hey, look, I know how to do this.
That's it. And building up the confidence through experience is huge, and it'll teach you not to be arrogant about what you do. Yeah, I know how to do that, but guess what? Other people in the world know how to do it too. So it's not you're not the only one out there. But you also want to think about the guy that's on your crew who improved the most in the past year. What did he do different than everybody else? Ask him. Is it he put in the extra effort or things like that? What is it? Because you've got to keep striving for the future and working hard towards that.
So I'm asking you a tough question. Are you the best student in your class? Why'd you look over at somebody else? Huh? I was asking you.
Well, I don't want them to hear this, but
Yeah, they won't hear you.
I definitely am
But
one of the
see,
best.
Hey, you're not on camera. Don't worry.
Yeah. No, nobody's hearing this, but this is just me and
It's
you
just
talking.
us.
But the good thing is, each one of us have to have that attitude.
Yes.
So I got into the union after 17 years. So I'd worked open shop 17 years. So when I got in the union, they had a million different names for me. None of them were good. Can't repeat most of them. I was a rat. How's that?
Yep.
Leave it at that. But I knew when I came in that I was a good plumber because I'd worked with some great plumbers. You got a great instructor. That's what it's all about. When I went onto the job, I made it my goal to outperform every person every day. That's all I had to do. Work smarter, work harder, do the job better. And when you do that, when you think you're the best plumber, it's easy to do that. So I love that. So good luck in Atlanta. We're trying to work it out where I get to see you there. So maybe I'll come down and see y'all. All right.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. I appreciate you being here.
Thank you.
All right. So I talked about this a while ago. If you want to learn to do what I do, if you want to learn to do YouTube, I've got a webinar. It's for free. Go check out justmattroger.com. Go through the webinar. Listen to it. Listen to what I talk about. People give me multiple reasons why they cannot do YouTube. And I'm like, no, you can. A lot of people think they can't. Well, I don't have the right equipment. I don't have enough followers. I don't have enough views. You know what? You get started, all that other will fall into place, and it does. So if you want to learn more about how to do YouTube, go to www.justmattroger.com.
And also, guys, I'm Henry Wakefield. We'd like to thank Leak Pro for sponsoring today's episode of the Trade Talks. They let us come in here Monday through Fridays, 5 days a week, unless there's a major holiday, and talk trades with you for an hour.
Or maybe if we're having to travel to, Costa Rica, the Dominican Republic,
Dominican,
Bahamas. I mean, anywhere we
Fort
can go.
Lauderdale,
Anywhere we
Utah.
can go.
I mean, we go
You
all
know,
over. We go all over.
We do. But it's work.
That's it.
It's a hard
That's
job.
it. We always try to set it to where we could still hit this show no matter what. But hey, sometimes we are in the air.
And sometimes Squirt takes over for me if I'm in the air.
That's right. But we do want to thank Leak Pro. They manufacture the most precise leak detection equipment. And guys, when I say I do. I build the Probe T-handle style solid block of aluminum. It's got a stainless steel rod. It's real durable for probing in and out of the ground for that meter to the home service. This is going to cover you if you're a plumber checking some systems, if you're an irrigation guy, maintenance for the facilities, things like that. This is going to help you in any underground leaks. But also, there's the Sidekick. That's the pistol grip style aluminum rod on it. That aluminum rod, it's a less dense metal, so that enhances the sound even more. That's what we prefer when you go indoors. You're listening through a slab, driveways, sidewalks, anything like that. So always check out the complete kit at www.leak-pro.com. But also, I do a 2-day in-person training here just outside of Dallas, Texas. So if you don't know anything about leak detection or you want to learn how to market it into your company, things like that, give us a call because we do a 2-day training. I teach you how to locate lines. I've got 11 leaks under a slab to train you on all those. One outside of the slab so that you know what that sounds like also. Then I've got a couple sewer systems set up. One cast iron, one PVC, where I teach you to go to that double clean out outside of a home and isolate all the branch lines in that main so you can determine exactly where a sewer system is leaking. And if you want to talk about training, give me a call at 1-8888-LEAK-PRO. I'd be happy to discuss the training or the equipment and how this guy can teach you a little bit of marketing while you're here for that training too.
If you're the owner or manager and you come down, you're like, look, the leak detection people in our area are 2 to 6 weeks out. I can teach you how to make your phone ring to where you can start capturing a lot of those calls. And it does make a big difference to know how to market a company. So we're going to roll into all trades now and 3D coordination. And this is, again, one of Randy's favorites. BIM, all this kind of stuff. I know.
And clash detection, guys. This is becoming the new standard even for smaller projects. And that's why I like to bring this to light every once in a while, because it's not just the big dogs doing it anymore. This is happening on smaller projects too, because it just speeds up the process. That extra little bit of time on the 3D modeling end can save so much time, frustration, and schedule out on the actual job. So what this is actually going to mean for every trade is you are going to have to provide shop drawings. Layout crews are going to need digital skills. They're going to need those robots that crawl around the floor and draw the drawings on the floor for you.
And Randy likes that stuff.
Oh man, that thing is so cool. If you haven't looked that up yet, guys, get out there and check it out. It looks
I'm
really
quit
cool.
looking stuff up. I want to get it out.
I know. trying to figure out how to get everything. But poor coordination
Okay,
really.
whoa. Why you gotta have poor coordination? I want good coordination.
Stop.
Oh,
Please.
sorry. My fingers kept going.
So, poor coordination leads to delays and rework cost. We don't want poor coordination. We want great communication, better than.
Okay, so now I'm gonna be
You're
really smart.
medium.
I thought that was supposed to be poor P-O-U-R
No,
coordination.
no.
So when you said poor, I'm like, no, I want good
Or
coordination.
like crappy coordination.
Well,
We don't like that.
Bad pouring coordination leads to delays and rework costs too. Let me tell you. You stand on the plumbing, you're gonna piss some people off.
I tell you what, yeah, there were some pours done, bad lead pours or concrete pours. Ooh, yeah. See, I got him there, guys.
Yeah,
But
I've seen
guys,
that bad lead before. May have been involved.
it may have been involved. Plumbers, HVAC, and use Sparkies. If you're still using Sharpies on the floor plans, it's time to adapt or get replaced.
Yeah, why you gotta be tough about it?
Cause I'm
Adapt
tired of
or
y'all
get
using
replaced?
Sharpies on the drawings. Come on, guys! Like you're gonna have to start moving towards the future because that's where we are.
What if it's where I permanently put it? Right there where that Sharpie is. That's permanent Sharpie.
That's fine. Can everybody else see that Sharpie on that drawing?
Yeah, it's a dot right there.
Oh, show that Sparky that. That's
I ain't
cute.
worried about Sparky.
Yeah. He needs to know.
Ain't worried about it.
So, 3D modeling and stuff, it's the way of the future. Guys, before long, that's how they're going to estimate large projects. Okay. Like they were starting to have that thought process roll out while I was in the office estimating. And it's like, look, we're going to have to draw the job to actually bid a job. It's a little extensive, isn't it? It's like, look, isn't that going to be the most accurate bid? And it's like, yeah, you're not going to miss nothing that way.
All right, we're going to roll into laws and licenses. And I'm going to change it up just a little bit if I can find it. You know what? I shouldn't do that. I'll just tell you off the top of my head. So, construction law update, first quarter 2025, highlights California court ruling that sub could not sue general contractor without a written scope. Verbal is no more.
Yep.
Texas TDLR update, faster disciplinary actions for unlicensed work, which I love. New OSHA enforcement zones targeting roofing violations. Roofers don't know how to spell safety. They don't know how to spell safety.
But like, I feel like part of that was originally OSHA's fault because they put roofers in this completely separate classification for TOF and everything. Oh, because they're roofers, they're special. Well, now they really think they're special.
Now, I remember having to get up on a roof to do an event, and it was a steep roof, and literally Austin went out and threw an extension cord across the roof, came down, tied it around my waist, climbed up a ladder on the roof. That way I could just, at least I knew I wasn't gonna fall.
Yep.
But look, if you're here, if your license is clean, promote it. It's a marketing edge right now. You want to make sure that you're doing everything. And we talk about your point on insurance and things like that. You don't have to market it. They're going to ask you what is your insurance rating. But what I want to talk about on laws and licensing is, I mean, there's a lot going on about it in one of the Facebook groups, and I was going to try to find the exact quote. But earlier this month, Texas passed a new law that if you do not go through a Department of Labor training program, you can now get your master license in 2 years. Now, a lot of people are complaining about this, like this is DEI, this is. No, guys, look. If you can learn it and pass the test, I hate that. Number one, I hate that it's 4 years to get your license. And I'll say that because I'm not going to say it on record or anything, but I probably didn't wait the 3 years that it was required back then. Because I walked into the office one day and the owner of the company says, here, sign this paper. And I looked at it, I said, well, that's my application for an exam. He said, yeah. I said, I don't think I have 6,000 hours yet. He said, oh, yeah, you do. Oh, yeah, you do. We've been keeping tabs on them.
That's right.
So somewhere at about 2 years, I had 6,000 hours.
Yep.
Just going to throw that out there. And I passed my journeyman exam.
I've worked that many hours in 2 years before.
I
Just
have.
not at the beginning.
I've done it in 1 year. Yeah, I've done it in 1 year. I've done 3,000 in 1 year. But if you look at it, I say I've done 3,000 in 1 year that I have documented, not that he had documented. But literally, Back then, I could take my master exam 1 year later. Now, the way Texas is set up right now, the Department of Labor training programs like PHCC, the union, ABC, different organizations, you can go take your master exam after a year, after you've had your journeyman for a year. But they don't allow open shop to do that. And I got to tell you guys, I don't like that. If it's good enough for the union, it's good enough for open shop. Now, if you're not ready to take the test, don't go do it. And I remember back when I went and took my original plumbing exam, we didn't have these courses that you took to help you learn.
Yeah.
And I remember one of the instructors down there saying, look, a lot of students just walk in, they have no idea what to expect. They don't study for the test. They just come in to see what all's on the test. Now they know what to go back and study for. And I'm like, man, I don't like that. I don't like the way it's done. But I love that they're cutting down the hours, because there's a lot of people that talk to me about getting in the trades all the time. And they literally want to know, look, how long is it before I can open my own company?
Yep.
Well, if you're open shop, it's 8 years. And they're like, wait, what? It's like, well, you got to get your tradesman, then your journeyman, then your master's. So it's 2 years, 2 more years, 4 more years, 8 years. But if you go to the union, well, you can do it in a year.
Yep.
That's a year after your
speed
4
it up
years.
quicker.
So I'm like, look, I didn't go through the union training program, but when I got in the union, I moved all the way up to director of operations. I know that there's smart people out there that don't have to join the union or PHCC or anything like that to learn and get educated.
Yep.
There's some people out there that are just amazing plumbers. So
That's
I'll
it.
get off my high horse for a minute.
Well, and then that's the major thing is, what's the test for? It's to see
know if
what
you know how to do it.
what you know. And
Why do I give you a spelling test?
That-
To see if you know how to spell the words.
That's it. Yeah. Not, oh, well, you need to read those words 1,000 times before you can actually take this test. Why? If I learned it in
better
3
than that.
times,
Better
then
than that. You've
why
got to
can't
use
I
that
just
word
take it?
in 1,000 sentences
Yeah.
to different people before you can take
Before
the test.
you can actually take the test.
Like,
Yep.
wait, what?
Yeah. So, rethink some things, definitely. Let's make some adjustments to some of our programs and rules that we've got out there, because the process is definitely speeding up and you can learn so much faster nowadays. You don't have to you don't have to sludge through the snow uphill both ways to the library to check out a book.
Like I did.
That's it.
Yes. But here's the thing. Look, I love what Lisa Hill and Frank Denton are doing. I think the Texas State Board is still the best plumbing agency that there is.
Yep.
A lot of us helped stood up and fight for it to make sure that we got to keep it and do what we did. Thanks to Governor Abbott for stepping in and saying, look, we're going to keep y'all around for a little while. He at least understands that in Texas, we do protect the health of the state of Texas. Plumbers around the world, I know, we protect the health of the nation, and it's true. So keep doing what we're doing. Anytime we can make it short, I truthfully think that the journeyman exam could be done, and I'm going to piss a lot of plumbers off, that it could be done in 2 years. I may or may not know somebody that did it in 2 years. So just saying, it can be done. And that person turned out to be a pretty good plumber.
Well, depending on how you're brought up, what is it? 2 years they can take their tradesmen and work on single home dwellings.
Single family or 2 family dwellings.
Well, guess what? If I only did commercial jobs, why don't y'all just let me work on commercial buildings after 2 years and not ever touch a family dwelling, because that's not my world.
Well, they
It
say there's a
kinda
lot more to
depends on
learn
the
in the
things you
commercial
learn.
part. They say there's a lot more to learn, and there can be.
There can
I mean, you
be.
talked about pumps and hydronics and all
There
kinds
is
of
some
fun
extras.
things.
I get that. Yeah,
But that's why we tell people all the time, never stop learning.
that's right.
Whatever you're doing, never stop learning. If you want to be the top 5% of your industry, study every morning, every day, 30 minutes to an hour about your niche, your industry. There's new tools, materials, equipment, technology every day.
Every day.
Let me get off my soapbox again for a minute. Business training, Squirt. Give me 3 tips to help construction businesses be more successful. And we're going to ask Mr. Eric to step in here. Eric, how you doing today?
Doing good. How are y'all?
I'm doing good. What are you going to school for?
I thought a lot about going to TSTC for electrical, and then transferring into Tarleton because the hours transfer over.
Right.
For a project management or business degree.
Oh, you're one of them smart kids. See, we're in trouble. We were never that.
Yeah.
But we learned.
No, we spent our time in the dirt. But hey, I did move into the office and get to work around a lot of PMs for a while.
But
they are sharp.
I love a kid that's got
individuals.
the idea. Look, I want to move up into
Here's
this.
where I'm
It's
headed.
a great way to look at it. How do you like going to school at Belton?
It's fun. You know a lot of people and meet a lot of people through Belton High School.
Yeah.
And classes, just a lot of friends in there. And teachers are good too.
So, what is it you're learning at Belton to help you in construction?
Math class especially, it just helps because in construction you need a math, and then in the class alone that Creo offers, meet a lot of industry professionals, and then that gives you connections along the way.
So, you're a senior this year?
No, sir, I'm a junior.
Junior? Okay. So have you gone and competed at Skills USA before?
This is my first year
First year?
on the Teamworks team.
Cool. You ever been to Atlanta before?
No, sir.
It's pretty wild. Pretty fun. It's a neat place. There's some good places to eat, a lot of things to do, and to see the competition. And for those of y'all that don't know, Skills USA is not about just the trades. I mean, they've got computer software designers. They've got the drone competition. Dude, I had so much fun watching that. Rebuilding motorcycles, jet engines, cars, paint and body. I mean, you name it, it's going on there. And the competition is so big and so massive. And it's high school and college students, right? Mm-hmm. So, yeah, it really is. It's pretty cool. So we're going to talk a little bit about business right here. And we're going to talk about 3 tips, and I'm going to ask you some questions about them. So we're talking about construction businesses and how do they become more successful. So first of all, choose the right projects. Stop chasing bad fits. And what I like about this, what is your specialty?
I'm in electrical.
You're in electrical? He's not going to be smart enough to answer these questions.
Maybe.
That's true. He's thinking construction management.
Yeah,
so
he
maybe
said he's
so.
been studying math. We're good. We're good.
Maybe so.
I got faith.
No, maybe so. Okay, so question number 1 in. Why can't electricians use a broom?
I don't know it was coming.
I use a broom all the time.
Do you?
Clean up.
Oh, so you're going to be too smart to be an electrician. You may want to go straight into plumbing. I'm just going to throw that out there for you. But no, when you're an electrician, if I asked you to do a plumbing remodel, would you go do that? Or would you be like, man, that's just not my deal?
I'd attempt.
You could attempt it. Okay. There's nothing wrong with attempting it, but make sure you're not chasing something that's bad for you. Okay. If you take on a job that you don't know how to do, it can cost you a fortune. So that's one thing you don't want to do. Next thing is standardize your pricing. And templates can help you save hours and boost trust, because if Randy's your next door neighbor and I come to your house and I tell you, hey man, it's 10 grand to run this water line 100 feet. And then I come over to his house and he's got a nicer car than you do. And his wife drives a Lamborghini and I tell him it's 20 grand to run that same water line just as far. That's not very good, and you're going to get a bad name.
Oh, that's it? Just 20?
I know.
Okay,
He
no
said,
problem,
he said,
man.
can I pay it in cash?
Yeah, like,
I know. Mr.
she's got a
Lamborghini
Lambo,
here.
right? Like,
Mr.
all right,
Mr.
okay, just making
Lamborghini
sure,
here.
making sure.
Yeah, that's his last name now, Mr. Lamborghini. But you've got to understand that you've got to build trust in having standardized pricing, having things set to where it's the same for everybody. That's what it's all about. Somebody sent me a short of a Home Depot guy on TikTok one day, and the guy comes in and he's talking. He's a handyman, and he says, when I pull up in front of the house, I look at their cars in their house and their yard, and that's how I set my pricing. And I'm like, dude, that is so wrong.
Yeah.
Next is get a CRM. Now, we're really big on those. You know what a CRM is?
Career readiness.
Not in this part. Once you're in the offices,
Yep.
it's communication,
Customer
retention,
customer relationship
customer
manager,
relationship
right?
manager. I thought, wait.
Okay.
Now I'm thinking
Okay.
about what he said. I'm thinking,
Y'all
okay,
trying
wait a
to
minute. I know.
confuse me here. Like, what's going
Customer
on?
relation management. So I can text and email all my customers
Yes.
and have communications with them. And anybody wants to learn more about that, go check out Rogers Marketing Machine. I'll show you how to put it together. But it's really, really cool because even a basic one helps you keep your quotes, helps you follow up with your customers, and it can help you keep your jobs organized.
It can keep your job organized if you can get your guys to take pictures of their receipts and stuff. Now that's a whole nother. Yeah, that's a whole.
That's a whole other level. I think tradespeople have a bone missing in their hand that doesn't allow them to take pictures of receipts.
Receipts.
gonna-
Oh yeah, I dropped it. I don't know
Just
where it
gonna
went.
throw that out there. So, Eric, are you looking forward to about going to Atlanta?
I am a lot.
And that's this month, right? A couple of weeks away or something like that?
It's next month around this time.
That's right, the end of next month.
Sure.
Yeah, we're 4 weeks away. Cool. Well,
yeah.
I want to say thanks to Belton High School, Mr. Carrillo, all the students for building a dollhouse for us. And that will be coming up in other videos.
Oh yeah.
But also want to tell y'all good luck in Atlanta. I hope you do well, and I hope you have fun there.
Sure, thank
All
you.
right. Thank you, sir.
Thanks.
All right. Thanks. All right. So here's the deal. If a contractor's stuck, it's usually a systems problem, not a sales problem. And one big thing that I was taught by an entrepreneur that we were working with doing some stuff together. And literally he got up and spoke this topic and taught this session. And basically it boiled down to, if you do anything more than once, have a process. Get your SOPs down. You don't go in to make Elite Pro and do it different every time.
I don't change anything.
I mean,
unless
step
it's
by
a
step.
part that's improved. It is the same process every time. I do not break that.
And-
I learned that in trophy building.
You
Honestly,
bet. Yeah, but
a trophy only goes together one way. You
What,
can't change any steps.
what grade were you in?
I was
8th grade, 9th grade, something like that?
I was too young to work.
So, yeah, I was getting a paycheck,
I think I was
so I didn't care.
13, it was
I'm like, man, I might,
summertime,
I may
it's
have
like,
10 more kids just to put them to work
No, that's
with
cool
me.
because they didn't even give me a check. He'd open the cash register at the
I
end of the day. Oh, how many hours did you work? Okay, you're $5 an hour. Boom, there you go.
I used to work
See you
for a
tomorrow.
farmer like that. So,
Yeah,
so
it works out
pretty cool.
good.
But learning stuff like that, having systems and processes, and that's part of a sales process that I teach plumbers. You don't walk up and park in a different spot every day. You don't ring the doorbell sometimes. You don't knock on the doorbell sometimes. You don't know what's going on before you get there sometimes and not. Have systems and processes to where you're confident and you do your job well.
Yep.
So we're going to roll into vehicles real quick. Randy, what's the big trends on vehicles right now?
Honestly, for the vehicle fleet management for this year, more GPS, more driver monitoring. Ugh. Sorry,
Hey,
guys.
I like it.
It's super important. It can bring your insurance down, things like that. If they know who's driving the vehicles and how they're driving the vehicles, they can cut you a good discount that's out there. So super smart to keep an eye on. A lot of fleet electrification. Electric vehicles are coming, especially in super city areas to where everything's real close. They're not traveling real far from job to job, things like this. Electric vehicles are showing up everywhere. Also, some predictive maintenance tracking via AI.
AI's getting in our vehicles now?
Of course. I mean,
I guess I've had ways.
do you want to have that fleet manager, or would you rather just have an AI software that sends you an email, says, hey, so-and-so needs to go get their oil changed. Oh, hey, grab your oil change.
And look, fleets are a big deal. We talk about fleets all the time. If you want to go ahead and pull this one up.
Yep.
But the thing is, guys, look, if your company's growing,
What is it, though?
that's why I scrolled down for.
Got it.
If your company's growing, you need more vehicles. You know, I told y'all earlier about one of my mentors out of Chicago, Robert Malco. And he literally used to say, look, it's $100,000 for me to hire a plumber because I buy a new vehicle. We completely stock it with new tools. We stock it with all the fittings. And then we bring this guy in and say, hey, you know, we got a job for you. Here's what we're offering you. Here's your vehicle. You take a plumber and say, this is your new vehicle out there. It has, 50 miles on it. It's clean. It's wrapped. It's got all new tools in it, except for your hand tools. But it's got Milwaukee pack outs all the way through it to where you've got a spot to put all your stuff.
Yep.
It's like, okay, I'm interested in working here.
Because guess what? If anybody's offering them a job and they don't have a vehicle as nice for them to drive, they're not going to shift jobs.
Yeah.
They,
Yeah. You
they
don't
like
like
where
step
they're
down
at.
into an old raggedy,
Yep.
bumpity stagecoach looking van
That's it.
that I can't stand up in.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I don't miss those days.
Yeah,
I
not
miss
at all.
those days any.
So here's the deal. And when it comes to idle time, and I don't mind the tracking because that's when I found out I had plumbers out doing side jobs with my vehicles and my materials.
Yep. Yeah, that's really affecting the bottom line there.
Yeah, well, there's burial sites in Texas nobody will ever find. Just gotta throw that out there. I know this for a fact.
Yeah.
Not that that's where they're at, but But here's the deal: if you're not tracking idle time and route efficiency, you're leaking fuel money every week. And looking at your fuel cards, your fleet cards. Gee, Randy, you filled up today at noon, but then you filled up again right by your house.
I drove across the country. Leave me alone.
Yeah, in a vehicle that it only took $12 to fill it up. Doesn't your wife drive that Lambo?
Yep.
I'm just saying. He says, "Well, I can afford it. I can't afford the fuel." Because if you're not tracking the idle time and the route efficiency, you are losing money.
Yeah.
And at the end of the day, look, we got to track everything. And one of my other coaches, trust but verify.
Yep.
I trust that you're not stealing from me. But when we do the audit on your van tomorrow morning and I find out half the materials are missing, guess what?
They found out I was honest because I'd be like, "Hey, I got to swing by the grocery store on the way home and like actually pick up some stuff. Is it cool?" They're like, "Yeah, of course. Like, we know you're gonna have to do some things during your actual transportation because I was driving an hour and a half. I was driving to Fort Worth and I lived
You
on
bet.
this side of Dallas, so it was about an hour and a half driving. And they're like, "No, look,
But
it's
the problem is you
Don't
wanted to go
over-
to HEB and the nearest one was down in Waco. That was the
that
problem.
was the issue. I
That-
didn't tell them
that's
that part.
why they got
okay,
pissed
I just
off.
told them I had to stop at the
Hey,
grocery store.
I know why they got mad at you. I know. Hey, it's worth it for HEB. Thank God they're moving to North Texas.
That's it.
And they're building one in Murphy, right?
HB and Murphy.
Right down the road, brother.
Wow.
Yeah, we found a new shopping store.
All right.
Albertsons, Tom Thumb, Kroger. See y'all.
Yeah.
It's that easy.
Yeah.
That's exactly what's going to happen. Oh, went the wrong way here. Okay, so today in the social media spotlight, we're going to talk about the HVAC guy. Now, what's neat about this is a real world HVAC work.
Yeah.
No gimmicks, no BS. It's like, hey, here's what it is. Now, this covers install breakdowns, customer communication fails, soft skills for blue collar pros. Now, I love this because Julie teaches this. I started learning this a long time ago. She's like, Roger, you can't say that. It's, well, I just did. It's like, yeah, you still can't say that. Highly respected for teaching the why, not just the how. And I love that because people ask me that and I don't get offended. People are like, well, why do you do that?
Yep.
Oh, no. No, I never say that. I say because the plumber that taught me did. But here's
say it's
what
how I
I
was
learned.
treated.
That's
Yep.
the way I was taught. That's the way I was educated. And it does. It works.
That's why I tried to teach my apprentices different. Finally, I was like, you know what? Somebody's got to break it. Like, I'll train them different. I ain't got to yell at you all the time.
Well,
Occasionally,
I
you
didn't
got to yell at them.
you
I
all the time.
promise. But no, I'm not saying that you
Okay.
did.
I mean, I did yell at you when you needed
I
it.
came up through the union though. Remember, I worked
Yeah.
with the old grumpy guys on
That
every
yell
job
every day.
because I want it, and that's just some of them are just yellers.
And it's not that they're, and I don't even know they're doing it. I remember asking a guy one day, what's your name? He's Robert. I said, what? He's Robert. It's like, dude, I just asked you your name. He said, well, I just told it to you. It's pretty much the way they are.
That's it. Like there's some of them out there,
Yes.
and that's the thing that I love though is you work, you just learn from so many different people and different teaching personalities and styles. And like I would tell my apprentices, like, look, learn everybody's, and then when you turn out, you get to teach your way. You get to take all those ways and pick what was the way that you liked the best, and you can teach every one of your apprentices that way. But
And it works.
that's it. HVAC.
what do you like
guy
about
here.
this channel?
Man, honestly, this is raw, real HVAC guy work. Okay. And something that I noticed about this is a lot of people say that they really like watching this guy because it's what they really see whenever they're out on the job.
I like
He's
that.
actually installing some of the same units that they all deal with on a normal basis.
Okay, so go back first. How many subs does he got?
I was gonna say this is a smaller channel.
Okay. So
70,
almost 73,000.
73,000.
Headed for that silver play button. Good for you.
Yep. With over 25 million views.
I love it.
Okay.
And he's
So
got a lot of shorts too because he's got
Cruising.
almost 1,700 videos up there.
that's it. Now, let's go to Aldous. He's been doing this 4 years.
And I like that. One of his first videos is a short.
Yes. Yeah. Way back, it technically
years
wasn't
ago
a
when it
short
started.
then. Yeah,
Yeah,
I was
yeah.
going to say it wasn't,
Back then it was a
wasn't
vertical
short.
video.
It was a vertical video. But guys, we all got to start somewhere. And that's my favorite. That's why I always pull up their oldest videos just to kind of see. Most popular here, Unfreaking Believable. Yeah. How you like that? Beer can trash pile.
Unfriggin' believable. That's the name of the video.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, so like, I went to the latest. Just being observant solved this one. Now watch this one. Okay. And you love it. He has the field piece, wireless gauges and stuff.
I like my field piece.
Goes through everything. They were saying that there were some AC issues. Da, da, da. Well, it ended up being an elderly person that had never turned it from heat to cool. They were just pressing the down arrow, trying to turn the temperature down and get it to cool down in the house.
That didn't work well.
It didn't. It didn't. And at
But
first,
the
I
AC
was,
bill was very low.
I was kind of going, "Wow!" And you really put that as a video, and then it's like, you know what though?
Some people
Somebody
need to-
needs to see
Yep.
that so that they're like, "Oh my gosh, there's a switch from heat to cool." Wow. But one of the reasons I did it is it's real. Where was he from? South Georgia. Well, country guy.
How'd you figure that
it is
out by
great.
just hovering over the moor? Oh,
Because it's written there in the description in the earlier part. I'd looked at it this morning already to kind of have an idea. But guys, anybody can do social media. Anybody can
if
pass
I can
on
do it,
their
anybody
knowledge.
can. I'm just going to tell you,
That's it. Like mustache power.
it works. It works.
But
Here's the cool thing, though.
yep,
He's got more HVAC call-out wisdom in a 30-second clip than some shops teach in 30 days.
that's it.
And guys, at the end of the day, look, this is real stuff. Hey, this is what it is on the job. This is what we see on the job. This is what it looks like on the job. This is how it sees, smells, tastes, and feels on the job. Guys, stuff like that's big. And I love what he's doing, and I love that he's doing it on YouTube. A lot of people are afraid to start YouTube. Don't be afraid. If you want to learn to do YouTube, it's not hard. I started with a laptop. I started sitting about 5 feet away from it and yelling at it to get framed in the camera the way I wanted to get framed in it. Didn't have microphones, didn't have lights, didn't have anything. It's a little different now.
It's on his channel too, y'all.
Yeah, those videos are still up. People still send me messages say, "Dude, those videos suck. Why don't you take them down?" I don't know. I'm just going to leave them up there and
Never want to
we'll
forget
do my channel
where
one
it
day.
all
We'll
started.
go back and look at the
Oh,
old
yeah,
videos. We
yeah.
need to do that.
Yeah.
But look, guys, if you've thought about doing YouTube, it's easy to do. But right now, you're convincing yourself you've got that mindset, that stuff that we've been talking about. You got that brain trash. When you hear the voices in your head, whose voice is it? Because I want you to hear mine saying, "Look, really, you can do it." And all you got to do is get out there and try. If you want to, you can go watch this free webinar I made. The webinar debunks 3 big myths, and these are probably the 3 most popular reasons people tell me they can't do YouTube. But if you want to learn more about it, go to www.justmattroger.com and let me know what you think. It's pretty good stuff.
That's it. And guys, we'd like to thank League Pro for sponsoring today's episode of the Trade Talks. They manufacture the most precise leak detection system for professional plumbers. To check out the equipment, go to www.leak-pro.com. But also, if you don't know how to do leak detection, give me a call at 1-8888-LEAK-PRO. And let's discuss a 2-day training I do out here where I'll teach you how to locate lines, pinpoint locate leaks under a slab, outside of the slab, even determine where sewer systems are leaking and how to market that for your business. So give me a call. Once again, 1-8888-LEAK-PRO. And I'd be happy to discuss the equipment or the training.
All right, I'm going to jump over into comments real quick. What's the difference between an apprentice and a toaster? A toaster only burns once. Matt McDonald says, "Ha ha ha, don't beat squared up." Use a pencil. And all right, got to get back to saving the day, gentlemen. Keep doing the great things you're doing. Love that you're involved in the younger generation, paving out the path of the future. Love you, bye. And Lunch with Lisa says driverless 18-wheelers are here in Texas.
Yep.
Driverless Uber vehicles are in Austin, Texas. It only took an hour to go a mile. So not sure I'm on board with it, but at the end of the day, it is what it is. Special shout out today to Belton High School. Thanks for them being here. The students, Michael Correa, the instructor, I've got to go down and see what they do in Belton. It's pretty cool. They've recently rebuilt and upgraded their training center, so I get to go down and see that. And the dollhouse that they built me, guys, this is cool because right now the Texas State Board of Plumbing Examiners has these, and I have one. Don't tell anyone. Shh.
Secret.
Don't tell Lisa and Frank. No, they know. I got their permission. But I just want to say special shout out to Belton High School. Those of you across the nation headed to Skills USA, Belton is going to kick your tail. Just going to throw that out there.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's coming. It's coming. Guys, whatever you do out there today, be safe and have fun.
Everybody, thank you for showing up today. Tomorrow is Friday. Don't be thinking about that weekend yet, though, okay? So tune in
Why'd
tomorrow.
you bring it up? That's wrong.
Hey, I'm just warning you, all right? Because remember, it's not Thursday, it's Friday Eve today, guys.
There you
Whatever you do today, get out there, hit it effing hard. See you back here tomorrow. Bye, guys.
Thanks, guys.